All right. Well, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants event. My name is Joe Grabowski, and I'll be your host for today. It's always exciting to fire up one of these events and see so many groups joining us live on camera as well as live via YouTube. So if you are jumping on YouTube right now, don't forget there's a chat sidebar on the right. Let us know where you're watching from, send in some questions. And of course, we're going to talk to some of our live groups today. We've got 3 great classrooms joining us via camera today, which is pretty darn cool. It's great to be able to continue the learning even in these challenging times. It's awesome to be able to video broadcast these events live into the homes of parents, teachers, educators, and students across North America. So we've got a great event planned for today. We've got Greg Nance hanging out with us. Greg is on a mission to inspire students to get active outdoors. His favorite adventures include running 250 kilometers across the Gobi Desert, solo climbing Mont Blanc, and swimming across the Nile River. Recently, he completed the World Marathon Challenge. He ran 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents, beginning in Antarctica and finishing the 7th marathon in Miami. Greg is also the founder of MoneyThink, a mentorship platform that he's used to help students earn over $24 million in university scholarships. Pretty darn awesome. Greg, it's so great to have you joining us live today. We're excited to get to know you a little better. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun with the students.
I'm really excited, Joe. Thank you so much for the invitation and for the opportunity.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to let a few more students into the event, but I'm going to let you take over for a little bit, Greg.
Terrific. Let's do it. Hey, everybody. I am really excited for the chance to share more on what makes me smile, what makes me happy, and to hear some of the questions that you have while sharing some of my adventures and actually sharing a little bit of a workout before we jump into Q&A altogether today. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen here. Cool. Can everybody see that? Awesome. So I want to tell you a couple stories today and share a couple things that I've learned along the way. We're going to start our adventure in the desert in Chile, go to Antarctica before we talk about running across America. So we've got a few adventures here planned in our time together. I've always loved to run. I played every sport growing up. I loved tennis and basketball and baseball and football. But I always really loved to run. Since I can remember, I was always one of the quick guys on my team. And when everyone else was complaining that we had to run so much during soccer or basketball, I was the guy smiling. I've always loved to run. I ran in high school. Actually, I ran in university. And even after university, I'm still running today. Running makes me smile. So I followed my smile, and actually over the years, I've had a chance to run now all over the world, ranging from the Malaysian jungle to the Philippines, to Kazakhstan, to Hong Kong, all around North America as well. I followed my smile by running. One of my favorite parts about running is that I get to do it with awesome people, including my dad. Here's a picture on the left side of your screen before my dad and I headed to Chile, to the Atacama Desert, where we were going to run a very long race together, 155 miles, 250 kilometers through one of the driest, hottest places on the planet. The picture on the right is once we've actually arrived in this beautiful place, the Atacama Desert. There are huge sand dunes. That little person on that sand dune, that's me. And that sand dune is massive. It went for at least a quarter mile, maybe more, straight up into the sky. And as you run, you get really amazing views because you're climbing these huge sand dunes. There are these big mountains, these huge canyons, big rivers. It almost is like a fairy tale. It's so beautiful. And it's like another world. It feels like you're on the face of Mars, running around, exploring. It's incredible. It's also really hot. It was 46 degrees Celsius, 116 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really hot. And especially if you're trying to run and run fast during that. And so there were actually doctors that would hose you down with cold water to try to keep you from getting too hot. And after you get hosed down with ice cold water, you're then very happy, as I am here. And so it was an incredible adventure. The best part of it was being able to finish this race with my dad. We actually crossed the finish line together right here. It was an awesome, awesome experience and an awesome adventure. I love setting big goals. Of course, if you're running 155 miles through one of the driest, hottest places on the planet, you probably like big goals, as I do. So after finishing in the Atacama Desert, I thought, hey, what's next? How can I do something even bigger, even crazier, even more fun? And I realized that there's something called the World Marathon Challenge, where you actually run 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents, starting in Antarctica to Cape Town, South Africa, Perth, Australia, Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates, Asia, Madrid, Spain, Europe, Santiago, Chile, South America, then Miami, USA for North America. I trained and trained and trained to get myself ready. And then we decided to go for it. We were going to fly this airplane all around the world, starting in Antarctica. I would actually have my own seat on this plane where I would live for the next week. That's where I would have my meals. That's where I would sleep. That's where I would rest and recuperate in between these runs. Every marathon, you're very, very tired, so you need a place to rest. That's my little bed right there on the right. And we're going to go for it. Luckily, I wasn't alone. Here, me with 3 of my good friends, Luke, Eric, and Luke. These guys are awesome, and they helped inspire me as we went forward. Luke and I, the fellow in the middle, we actually trained together for this race. So we were in good shape and in good spirits, ready to cheer each other on as we got started. This is our first steps in Antarctica. If you look really closely, you might be able to see Kermit the Frog, a guy in a green jacket. That's me. That's me with the green jacket and the green hat. And we are all running over ice. It's really, really hard to run on ice because it's slippery, it's slick. And Antarctica is really, really, really cold. It is super cold, and especially when the wind starts getting going, because there's not much sunshine. The sun is actually at the horizon in front of you. And so it's really, really, really chilly. And if you feel it in your fingers and in your toes and your nose, every step you're feeling kind of the cold, and you're trying to go faster to try to warm up. But eventually you do warm up. This is actually me a few miles into the race. I'm feeling good. I've taken off my green jacket, no more Kermit the Frog, and I'm making good progress. I'm feeling good. And I realize the faster I go, the warmer I am. And so I keep going fast because I want to stay warm. But it's hard to go fast enough to stay warm enough. And so as the hours pass by, as we're running this marathon, I get a little chilly. I put on my jacket again, and now I'm racing with my friend. This guy's name is Arnaud. And if you look really, really closely at our feet, you can always learn a lot about a runner from their feet. Arnaud looks really strong. He's got a long stride. He's smiling. If you look at Arnaud, he actually is smiling. And his arms are up strong, where he's getting a good stride, good power each. But if you look at me, if you look at Kermit the Frog there, I'm not looking as strong. My feet aren't moving as far each step. My arms are down. Which means I'm not being as efficient because I'm really, really tired. But actually, the worst part about this, I'm not smiling. I'm gasping for air. I need more oxygen, but it's so cold and it's so uncomfortable in Antarctica. I don't think I'm getting enough oxygen. And so my body doesn't have the fuel it needs to go as fast as I want to go. So Arnaud ends up beating me because he's stronger. He's able to keep going. But the best part was still finishing this run and feeling really, really good about it. It was like a dream come true to run a marathon in Antarctica. But the crazy thing about the World Marathon Challenge is that it's 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. And so even though I've just run a marathon in Antarctica, I've got to keep going. And so we take an airplane, we jump on the airplane, and we fly to South Africa, to Cape Town, where we're going to run another marathon. And luckily, it's a lot warmer now. In fact, it's almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit warmer. It goes from very, very cold now to very, very hot, the freezer to the furnace. And I've still got a smile because I'm running and it makes me happy, but it's also really, really beautiful. And the sun is really, really shining. And I start to feel really, really tired because I just ran a marathon 12 hours ago. I'm running another one now. My legs are starting to feel it. You can even tell here that I'm not running as powerfully, given my legs aren't very far apart as I run. But I'm able to slowly but surely make it to the finish line. I have to overcome some dehydration. My stomach, I have a bad stomach ache during this run. I don't feel very strong, but I'm able to just keep going, to march forward. And it felt amazing getting to that finish line. But my legs are really, really sore. They're really tired. And now I'm getting cramps where my muscles are bunching up on me and it stings. And so as I'm on the airplane, that's me laying down there. And if you look really closely, that's a doctor, Dr. Paul. He's massaging my quadricep muscles to try to get the cramps out of my legs because it really, really stings to have a muscle cramp, a Charlie horse, especially when you're trying to run a marathon. So he's helping out. He's massaging that. But if you look at my right knee, where near where his hands are, I have a big bruise there. I've got a bruise, which is no fun at all. And I've only done 2 marathons. I've got 5 more to go. I need to find some strength here. And we get into Perth, Australia. We're going to run in the middle of the night. It's summer in Australia. So actually, I'm glad that we're running at night because it's really hot in Australia during the summer. But I'm not feeling very well. If you look at my 2 friends here, they are both wearing short sleeves. And there I am. I'm back to Kermit the Frog because I'm feeling sick now. My stomach is still hurting. I have a fever and I'm just not feeling very good. And so I'm getting chills, even though it's pretty hot outside as I'm trying to go forward. But slowly but surely, I'm able to keep on moving forward and I'm able to reach this 3rd finish line in Perth. In big credit to this guy right here. His name is Matt, and he's actually from my hometown outside Seattle, Bainbridge Island. This guy, Matt, now lives in Australia. He found out I was going to be in Perth, Australia, and he came and actually served as my crew chief, gave me a lot of Pringles and pretzels, gave me some Gatorade, and I felt much, much better because I had a friend there cheering for me. And so I learned in this case, you need the right people around, and with the right support and encouragement, you can do really big, awesome things, especially when you're following your smile. Matt also loves to run. And so we've bonded over running in the past. So it was really special to have him out cheering for me, supporting me as I go. We fly to Dubai for number 4 in Asia. And luckily, Dubai is usually quite hot, although we had a nice cool night in Dubai. And I was able to finish this marathon without too many troubles. We then fly onto Madrid, Spain. And if you look really closely at this photo, you'll actually notice we're on a racetrack. You may have watched F1 racing before with these cars that go extremely quickly. That's where we ran the marathon in Madrid, Spain. This was in February 2019. And so it's winter again, because we're in the Northern Hemisphere in February. Madrid isn't as cold as Minnesota or Minnetonka, but it's still really, really, really cold. And so I'm back to Kermit the Frog, and the F1 track is banked. The turns are actually at a slope to keep the race cars on the track. And that's really, really, really hard on my quadriceps and my knees and my hips and my ankles. It's really, really sore. So much so that actually I have probably my worst race of all in Madrid, where I'm just so tired mentally, so tired physically. And yet I still have a lot more running to go. And so I try my best, but I'm getting really, really tired. Finally, I'm able to finish. And I'm then able to fly with my teammates on to Chile. We're now in Santiago in South America for our second to last marathon. I'm starting to see that there is a light at the end of this tunnel, and I'm getting so excited for the chance to just be done because I'm really, really, really tired and I'm feeling sick and I'm just trying to keep moving forward. Luckily, Santiago was a beautiful place. We were in a big park. It was very scenic. And my favorite part about this was that my friends, that's Luke on the left and Sarah on the right, they waited for me at the finish line so they could be there to encourage and support me. They could have been sleeping, they could have been stretching or working out, but instead they were there to support me. which meant a lot to me and gave me a lot of extra strength to keep moving forward. So we finished in Santiago. We've got one more marathon left. Let's do it. We fly to Miami. Here is all 40 of us who are doing this challenge together. I'm way off there in the back wearing a cap with 39 of my new really good friends. We're all suffering together. We're all pushing through, but we're all very, very happy to be in Miami. One of my favorite parts about this entire experience was I actually got to run part of that Miami marathon with my dad. Here he is right here running with me. If you look closely, I don't have a big smile. Why? I'm actually hurting. My legs are so, they're cramping. They're so sore. I'm basically waddling down Miami Beach, trying to go a little bit faster, but unable to because I'm so stiff. I'm so sore. Oh my goodness, it's exhausting. And I'm just trying to keep going. So having my dad there was awesome for him to give me a little pep talk and encouragement and to lead me with a good pace so I could try to keep moving closer and closer to that finish line. But luckily, in every race, there is a finish line. And here I am coming into that finish line. It is unbelievable, the feeling of satisfaction and relief getting to the 7th finish line, knowing that there's no more to run. I can actually just rest and relax. I can hug my parents. My mom and dad are there to celebrate with me. It was awesome. We had a little party at the finish line. It was so much fun being able there to celebrate with my friends and my family. And then to take a moment to just reflect on, wow, I just ran 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents. And it was overwhelming. The feeling in that moment, it's just like a dream where you're in the midst of this really, really difficult experience. And then the next moment you're done. And it already feels like a dream. The only way I knew it was real is that my legs were still extremely sore. So I knew, hey, this did happen. It's not just a dream because my legs feel like they're going to fall off right now. The next day, I had a burger and a milkshake with my friend. It was awesome, probably the tastiest burger I've ever had. And then my mom and dad and I went to the Everglades and we watched some alligators, or tried to find some alligators out in the Everglades, and got to see some cool stuff as we went. So it was awesome earning these little medals, these little trophies here. This is me with my 2 nieces, Hannah and Honora. We had just an incredible experience out there. What I learned though is it's not about the medals or the trophies. I know many of us probably play sports, and it's really fun at the end of the season getting a trophy or getting a medal for the hard work and the accomplishments that you've made. But even more so, it's really the journey. It's really the preparation that you put in. It's the lessons that you learn. It's the growth that you have as a person that makes it all worth the while. And so I definitely hang up my medals from the World Marathon Challenge. I look back with a lot of pride and satisfaction, especially the satisfaction around the growth and the development and the evolution that I went through as a runner in both training for that and then also in making it happen. And I hope as you build your trophy collection, that it really signifies the hard work and the development that you're seeing in your own life and the satisfaction that comes from that when you're following your smile. So I love running. As I told you at the very beginning, it makes me smile. So what's next for me? What am I trying to do? Well, you can be sure I'm going to continue following my smile. And so I'm aiming to do that by actually running across America. My goal is to run 3,000 miles from New York City all the way to Seattle. As far as I can tell, no one has actually ever done that, running from New York City to Seattle. And I'm really, really excited to give that a try. And so my goal was to start in September. Due to COVID, due to the pandemic, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, but I'm training as if I'm starting in September, because that's my mindset. I'm going to control what I can control. Each and every day, I'm going to get my training in. Each and every day, I'm going to get my stretching in. I'm going to get a little bit stronger and a little bit better and a little bit faster, so that when the time comes, I'm ready to actually make this run happen. And I'm not sure if it's going to be September or next March or when it's safe, I'm going to make it happen. And the beauty about such a huge goal as running across America is you can't do it in one leap. Instead, running across America, like any big goal, is done actually in small steps. It's done in small steps. And I actually want to take a few minutes today to show you a little bit about how I'm preparing for this. And so for those of you both in the Zoom here and in classroom and on YouTube Live, we're going to do a little bit of a morning workout, the same 12 exercises that I do each morning, we can actually do together. And this is part of how I'm training to actually run across America. So if you are ready, I would actually love to, I'd love to share this with you. Who here is ready for a little morning workout? So I'm going to take off my socks here. It helps to have bare feet or shoes if you're, it helps me. And I do 12 exercises each morning. Let's try this out here. So those of you at home, stand up here and we're going to get 12 exercises in. This is my little morning routine that I use to get my day started. And it helps me stay more limber, more flexible, and more ready for the challenges of running a lot of long distances. As I talked about in the World Marathon Challenge, your legs get really tight, your entire body gets really sore. And so getting more flexible and more limber beforehand is a really, really important part of training. And it's true of running. It's actually true of any sport. And I know that when I was a student, I would study much better. And actually, I would just feel more energetic and upbeat if I've gotten a little workout in. So join me if you'd like. The first exercise that I do each morning, right after I wake up from bed, I do hula hoops. These are big hip circles designed to kind of get the blood moving, get your back, and get your core engaged. So I stand up and actually I make big circles like I'm playing with a hula hoop. And I do 12 repetitions of this. So if you stand up, you're going to make a giant, pretend like you have a giant hula hoop as you go. And it feels, yeah, there you go. It feels really, really good. You'll feel it in your back. You'll even feel it in your legs a little bit. And this helps get the blood moving and warms up your body. So this is the first stretch I do every morning. It's super simple, but as you do this, you're actually getting your body ready. Your heart rate is increasing a little bit, and you're going to feel stronger as we go. The second exercise that I do after I do 12 of these are called side stretches. You stand straight up, and you're going to actually bend to your left, and you'll feel it in these muscles here. And then you bend to the right, and now you feel it over here. And this is really, really good because after you wake up, it's easy to be a little stiff, especially when you're getting old like me. I think the youngsters don't feel this as much yet, but someday you might. So these side stretches, they really, really help me to feel more flexible. And again, it's getting your heart rate going, getting the blood flowing, and it helps us get ready for the next series of stretches that we're going to do to get ourselves warmed up. Oh, yeah. The third exercise we do, I call figure eights. I'm going to put the camera down a little bit here. Figure eights, it's all about our knees here. So we're going to bend our knees. If you can see that, we bend our knees, and then we're going to make little circles. And it's just like you're writing the number 8. And you can go really, really slow. It's definitely not a race, but you want to get full motion with your legs. Actually, if you feel your legs, you'll feel the muscles are actually really working on this. Your muscles are definitely working, and you're actually getting a workout right here. This is strengthening your quadricep muscles, your hamstring muscles, your calf muscles, and even like the little muscles in your ankles and in your knees. So really, really good to get the blood going and get those muscles engaged. After I do these figure eights here, I then do ankle circles. So check this out. So ankle circles are easy. You put, it's almost like you're doing ballet here. You put your foot down and you're going to make big circles with your ankle. And this is really, really good to prevent injuries, because if you've ever sprained your ankle, you know it's no fun at all. And so you want to build up these little muscles that support all of your joints and all of your bones. I do 12 of these. Woo, and it feels good. But I'll do the other foot too, because you want to strengthen both ankles, not just one. as you go. Oh, that feels good. So we do these 12. Awesome. Now the ankles are extra strong. And then we're gonna do what I call opening the gate. So with our legs are actually the strongest system in our body. Even if you've got really strong arms, your legs are still gonna be stronger. And let's keep it that way. And one way to keep it that way is by building these systems. So for me, I like to open the gate, and this is my favorite way to strengthen my hip muscles. So I lift my leg, and then I make a circle. Lift my leg, make a circle. It's like opening a gate. And it's also a little tough to balance. So see if you can do it with no hands, but if you need to hold on to something too, that's okay. You'll get better as you practice it more. And this creates a lot of flexibility. It actually strengthens your abdominal muscles too. So you're gonna get extra strong. Yeah, it's a little tough to balance, but you got it. And then other leg here, 12 more, woo. Nice, 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 nice. So we've done a really good job of warming up now. So we can do a couple more muscle builders. We're gonna go for squats. And I think all of us have seen squats, but the key in my experience is a nice wide base here with our legs. And then we wanna go really slow back up. And we wanna make a 90-degree angle, make a real L shape with our knees. Ooh. Yeah, these feel good. I ran 16 miles yesterday, so I'm feeling it on these squats right now. That's a good sign. It means you're getting stronger. Nice, we're getting strong. I can feel it. Okay, 2 more of these. Make them count. Awesome. So next up is lunges. A lunge, we're gonna use our legs back and forth. So left leg forward, and we go down and let our knee touch the ground. Now, right leg forward, let our left knee touch the ground, and then alternate. These lunges are also really, really good because it requires you to kind of balance, and it requires you to be nice and slow and methodical. And my heart is definitely beating. I don't know about you guys out there, but this is already a nice little morning workout here in Seattle. Woo. Hang in there, Jennifer. You got this. Awesome. Okay. So now that we've done our lunges, let's do calf raises. So calf raises are awesome because they build really, really important muscles, not only for running, but for any sport. We're going to go up nice and slow. And it feels really, really good. You should feel it on the back of your legs. This makes us way more explosive if we want to run fast. It also gives us better stamina if we want to run for longer. And this will help prevent injury as well, having nice, strong calf muscles that are well warmed up as well. Nice. Calf raise is so good. If you're looking for an extra challenge, you can also hold little 3-pound or 5-pound dumbbells, little weights, while you do this. Although I do it with no extra weight. Just I find this is plenty for my legs. Awesome. Okay, so after I do calf raises, I then go into arm circles because we can't just do our legs. We want to make sure that we're getting a full body warm up and workout here. And so arm circles, I put my arms out kind of shoulder width apart, and then I'm making little circles just like this. And I don't go very fast. I'm not racing anybody, but I like to just get the shoulders nice and warm. And as they get a little bit more warm, I'll actually make bigger circles as I go. And if you do this for long enough, it starts to hurt because you're going to feel the burn as you do it. For our purposes, we want to just get nice and warmed up and keep a good flexibility because this is not only our shoulders, it also is our back, our neck gets benefited. It's a great exercise, and we can do it backwards as well. So now back Arm circles, these are good. Nice, okay. So we are down to our last 3 here. The next one is called Supermans. You guys may have seen these before because they're awesome. Let's try to get this. So we're gonna lay this time on the ground. We're laying on the ground and we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and our arms and our legs are gonna come off the ground. These are called Supermans because it looks like you're Superman, Superwoman flying. And these are a little challenging. You'll feel it in your back. You'll feel it in your shoulders. Awesome. Trevor, that's my dad and my dog Juno that are hanging out back there. So the next one, we've got 2 more left. Let's make these count. This is called bicycles. And bicycle, it's one of my favorite exercises for my abdominal muscles to get stronger in our core. So we lay back just like this, like we're laying down. We put our hands behind our head, put our legs up, and we're gonna actually, it looks like we're riding a bicycle, is our knee and elbow come to meet. And we alternate legs as we do it. It requires a little bit of rhythm, but it feels really, really good and it makes you strong as you do it too. Nice, good bicycling, good bicycling. Whew. The last exercise here in our little morning routine is an important one. We want to build more muscle in our upper body, our abdominals, and our legs. The simple push-up is a really, really good way to do this. Now, for some of us, a push-up is really, really tough. It was really tough for me for a long time. If it's really hard, it's okay to start on your knees. And for those of us feeling extra strong today, we want to make a nice flat shape with our body and then go real slow down and back up. With all of these exercises, we want to use good form, and that'll actually make us a lot stronger than looking for shortcuts. And especially with the push-up, we can go nice and slow, and that'll help us actually get the most out of the exercise. Nice. Let's see if we can do 3 more here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Woohoo. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is a complete morning mobility session. We're at the end of that. We've got some blood flowing. We've got some heart rate pumping. And I hope you're feeling good too. That is a big part of how I train each morning. I love doing those. I'll then get some work in and then actually I'll go for a run. And as simple as that looks and feels, it's actually how you get yourself ready to do something really big and crazy like running across America. So even the biggest goals, you can actually break them down into small pieces, the fundamentals, and those fundamentals are how you're going to make big stuff happen. So thank you for working out with me, and thank you for listening to some of my little adventure stories there. I would love to hear your questions, and Joe, if you're up for moderating Q&A here, I would love to do that. I would also love to stay in touch with you too. If you'd like to email me, greg@gregrunsfar.com. And if you're on Instagram, I also love sharing what I'm learning from running at gregrunsfar on Instagram. So reach out, say hi. I would love to hear from you and hear about your morning routine, your big goal, what you're cranking on to. So shoot me an email or say hi on Instagram. And I look forward to your questions here too.
All right. Awesome, Greg. Thanks for taking us on some adventures. That was
Really?
awesome. Thanks for giving the kids a little workout so they can keep fit in their quarantine, uh, environments. That was really great. So I do want to tell a big shout out to the students joining on YouTube. I just shared a link there in the YouTube chat sidebar, and I just shared the link in the chat in here. I opened up a Slido room while Greg was talking today, and we're going to do a little quiz, a little 4-question quiz to see how well you were paying attention to Greg. So we're going to do a few questions, and then we'll jump to the quiz. So those who are joining us in the room, there's on camera, I just shared in the chat the Slido link, and the event code is RUN. So it should be easy to find, and you'll see the quiz there, and we'll start in maybe 10 minutes. All right, those who are in the call with us, raise your hand virtually with the little blue icon will pop up, and I'll know to ask you for a question, and I'll also watch YouTube for questions as well. So let's see here. We've got one here already up. Let's unmute their mic. It's a big long code, FES, but ends in 8J. Your microphone's on.
Did you ever run into like animals in like any like Antarctica?
Hey, thank you for the question. In Antarctica, actually, no. One of the things that surprised me, I saw exactly one animal, and it was a big seagull, like a really, really big seagull that was hanging out at the research station eating food. So it got really big, but that was the only animal. I didn't see any penguins. I didn't see any like foxes. It was just that one seagull. In other races, I have seen crazy animals, like even like a big cat in the distance in the Philippines, but not in Antarctica. I'll have to go back to see some penguins.
All right, Lucy, Jen, I'm going to turn your microphone on. We're ready for you.
What was your favorite place to run and why?
Hey, Lucy. My favorite place to run is actually really close to home. I live near Seattle. We have these really, really beautiful trees. I don't know if you can see this, but there's all these beautiful trees out. It's so much fun just to go experience that. So actually my favorite place to run is close to home. But I'm a curious person. I love to travel, and I like deserts. I like mountains. I like being near the ocean. So those are kind of my 3 favorite ecosystems to go explore.
All right, Trevor Tuckerman, I'm going to unmute your mic. We're ready for you.
Have you ever had any issues that made you stop a race?
I've had a number of issues throughout the years. The nice part about running long distances is actually everybody does. Every race, you're going to deal with something. It could be like, I have a sunburn, or I'm really thirsty, I'm really hungry, or even, ooh, I hurt something. The one time I had an issue that I wasn't able then to finish the race was in Hong Kong on January 1st, 2017. I ended up getting some food poisoning from crab stew. And basically within a few minutes of eating this food, I just felt really sick, and I was literally vomiting, felt awful, felt terrible, and I couldn't actually continue. So at mile 86 out of a 100-mile race, I actually got pulled off the course. It was terrible because I was actually pretty close to finishing, but still so far when you're sick and not feeling good. So that was the one time the issue was too big to actually make it happen.
All right, so students on camera with us, keep those little hands, the blue hands rising, and we'll pick a few more, but I'm going to jump to YouTube for a minute because we have a couple of questions there. So the first one we have here, there we go. The young family wants to know, why did you first start running?
Why did I first start running? I loved it. So when I first was running, I wasn't very fast. I couldn't run very far, but it made me feel good, made me smile. So I don't think I even had like a natural talent for it necessarily, but I just really liked it. And so my feedback and advice is, do the things that you enjoy doing. And as you put in more time, you'll start to see improvement, and you'll have more fun. You'll spend even more time, get even more improvement. And before you know it, it can be, your main thing. It can be something that keeps you really happy, especially during times like these.
All right, looks like Mr. Cameron's family is tuning in from Thunder Bay. And first, Mr. Cameron says he loves the exercise. He's going to work them into his soccer training routine, which is pretty awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
And he's wondering, when you're at home, what's your average run? How far do you run in a day?
Yeah, so it varies a little bit. So there are some days where a little shorter, some days a little longer. I try to train 7 days a week, and I try to have a theme for each day to kind of keep me focused. So one thing I've been doing in April, each Monday, I'll actually run a marathon. I'll run, go hang out with my nieces, and then carry on for 42 kilometers. And then on Tuesday, usually I'll go a little bit lighter. Maybe that'll be like a 5 or 8 or 10 mile day. Then on Wednesday, I'll do a lot of hill workouts. On Thursday, it'll be another kind of relatively short day. Friday, another long one. And then the weekend will be relatively relaxed as well. So my favorite time to run is actually in the afternoons. That works well with my work schedule and just with my kind of energy levels. Though I've also done like really early mornings. I used to train like 4 in the morning, and I've also done nighttime trainings too. But I find afternoon helps me sleep better, and it also is just a good energy state to get a good run in.
All right. Take a couple more questions from our students in the call. And just a reminder, I put that link to get to the code, Slido, and then the code RUN to join the quiz. We're going to do it shortly. Emily Liston, let me turn your mic on and see if you have a question.
How many marathons did you run before you did the world marathon?
Yeah, I think I did 9 or 10 official marathons, and then I've done 12 or 13 ultra marathons where I run longer than a marathon. And whoops, I think I was muted there. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, so I've done did 9 marathons before this, like 12 or 13 ultra marathons. And then during training, you're pushing it as well. So I'm actually not super experienced. A lot of my friends that ran that have run way more marathons than me. But what I learned from that is go for it. If you have a big goal, don't let your age or lack of experience stop you from going for your dream, because life is too short, I think, to always put things off. So if you've got a big goal, work hard for it, and then you can surprise yourself by making it happen before you may have all the experience you thought you needed.
All right. Awesome advice. Let's see. Liliana, I'm going to turn your microphone on. Looks like you have a question.
How many marathons have you won?
How many have I won? I've won 0. I'm trying to change that. I want to keep getting better and improving so I can go out and start winning more. I love running these races that have a lot of people. And so, yeah, I've yet to capture a full championship, but you can trust I'm working hard for it. And sorry to disappoint you. I can tell that you're very disappointed by that.
Mrs. Merrifield, go ahead and turn your mic on.
All right. Can you hear me?
We got you.
All right. Greg, after running the 7 marathons in a row, how long was it before you decided to run again? Did you take a week off?
I did. So even if I had wanted to run, like right after, I couldn't have. Like my legs were just so fried. So March 1st, about 3 weeks after finishing, was my first time even attempting a jog, because I really want to let the legs like rest up. And pretty quickly it was like, wow, like I've missed running. Let's start running again. And I began racing April 25th. So relatively quickly afterwards, I was kind of back at it, but I took 3 full weeks just to relax, because the last thing I want to do is run during that period. So.
All right. Paige Welch, your mic is on.
So if you were to run, so not including the places you've ever run before, where would you run if you had a choice to run anywhere?
Ooh, I love traveling and running, like putting those together. So I've always wanted to go to Iceland. I haven't been there yet. I hear it's really beautiful from the pictures I've seen. I would love to check that out. I'd love to run the Sahara Desert in Africa. I think that would be really, really beautiful. And then Patagonia in far South America. And Alaska too. I've yet to go to Alaska. So I have so many places I want to go, and I love running. So I'd love to go and run in those places. Yeah, I'm going to keep little by little, we can travel far.
All right, Devin, if you want to turn your microphone on, looks like you have a question.
What is your favorite place that you've been to for running?
My favorite place. So I loved Antarctica, because I've been dreaming about Antarctica forever. That was really, really wonderful. I loved the run in Chile because I got to do it with my dad, which was a great experience. My favorite run may have been in the old city of Jerusalem in Israel, because it's like very historic, thousands of years of history, and it just felt like a very, very like wonderful, peaceful, tranquil, uh, long run around this very, very old place. So that was probably my favorite running moment. There was no race; it was just me and my friend Richard running slowly through the night. But that was a really fun one.
All right. Well, we're going to jump and do this little quiz, Greg. I've got it loaded up for the students who joined us in the quiz. So 20 seconds on the clock for each question. The faster you answer, the more points you're going to get. Let's see who comes out on top, who is paying attention. All right. Starting the quiz now. First question, which location did Greg not run in during the World Marathon Challenge? Was it Perth, Australia, New York City, Madrid, Spain, or Antarctica? So which spot did he not run in during the challenge? If you're not in the slider room, feel free just to put it in the chat bar what your answer would have been. A couple more seconds. All right. Well, Greg, look like they're paying attention. Nobody went for anything other than New York City. All right, next question. What's Greg's next goal? Is it running around a big park? Was it running across America? Was it eating his weight in pizza? Or was it running across Australia? What did Greg say his next big goal was?
I want to switch it to pizza. That sounds pretty good.
All right, a couple more seconds. I see all the chats coming in. Yeah, we had a group who was paying attention. They're going with run across America, 100%. Let's see, what's next? Oh, what does Greg say about big goals? Does he say they're too hard, don't bother? Does he say they're pretty easy? Does he say break them into small steps? Or does he say you should have lots of them? What do we think? Couple more seconds. All right, I tricked a few, but 90% went with break them into small steps. And let's wrap up with one more question from Greg's talk today. When Greg runs, he's following his dog, his shadow, his goals, or his smile. We talked about this right at the beginning of the chat today. All right. Good work, following his smile. And that's really great advice. Do what makes you smile, follow your passion, follow what makes you smile. So let's see, our leaderboard, our top three. Macy, 4 out of 4, 28 seconds. Nate, 4 out of 4, 28 seconds. And Kai, 4 out of 4 and 36 seconds. Good job, everybody. Greg, I'm gonna grab one more question from YouTube. Endurance. Any advice for someone working on endurance? This is from YouTube.
Yeah, if you're working on endurance, I think it's a great goal. Start where you're at. Start small. Even making it down to the mailbox or around the block once is awesome. And then slowly but surely work to increase the distance, increase the time you're out there, but don't rush, don't hurry. You can make a lot of progress just with really consistent forward motion. And I've been working at this for 20 plus years now, and I'm now able to do really big stuff. But when I first started, I was going a quarter mile, half a mile. So little by little, you'll go far.
Awesome. Well, a huge shout out to YouTube. Thanks to everybody who joined us and sent in some questions. A huge shout out to the classrooms we had joining us live today. So let me just jump back in and say hi to those classrooms again. So Ms. Maxwell's group in DeWitt, Michigan. We had Ms. Salazar's group in Laredo, Texas, and Ms. Merrifield's group in Falmouth, Maine. So thanks for joining us live on camera with your awesome questions. And Greg, thank you for spending some time with us. Thanks for keeping us active. It was a lot of fun today.
100%. Absolutely my pleasure, guys. Thank you for being here.
All right. Let me turn the mics on. So boys and girls, get loud in your houses. Goodbye and thank you for Greg.
Hello, thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. That was great. Thank you.
Joe,
Bye.
you
All right.
also.
Thanks for the presentation.
Everybody for today.